What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hanna Horror here today. This is going to be the most fun series I think I've ever done. We're doing top 5 movies of every year of the 1980s. And the reason I want to do this is because it's going to give me a chance to talk about movies that I just never feel like I have enough of a chance to talk about, but expect Return of the Living Dead in this list somewhere. But anyway, so we're going to start with 1980. And, 1980 for horror. Now, what's really going to be tough is 1981, which you'll see after this video. But 1980 had some of the best horror movies in the world, and the number one for my video, for this video, is probably one of the best horror movies ever made, hands down. So before I get started, I want to say this. This is my opinion. There's so many good movies from the 1980s, and my movies reflect my personality, the kind of movies I like, etc., etc. So if the movie you think should be on this list isn't, don't kill me. Just, in the comment section, say, hey, give this a shot, Christian, because you never put this on there. And I love responding to you guys. So, number 5 for me is going to be Jamie Lee Curtis's Terror Train. Terror Train is a ripoff, as it is, to, Halloween. Not in the sense of the plot, but I mean, it's no surprise that, a lot of movies, they tried to just do what Halloween did, have this killer on this isolated area. But Terror Train was cool because, how many movies have you seen where, it's a slasher movie on a train? It's just weird. And I just watched it for New Year's. So, I mean, I actually really enjoy Terror Train. It's cheesy, but it's right at the heart of the slasher craze. So it's like, it's made with so much excitement, if you will. And I like Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie. I don't know if Prom Night was 80. It may not have been, but don't expect to see Prom Night anywhere on my list at all. I don't think it was 80, but if it was, whatever. You're not going to say it because I don't like Prom Night. I just think it's a terrible movie. I just can't get into Prom Night whatsoever. But I really like Terror Train. So that's my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Night of the Demon. Yes, Night of the Demon is a movie I absolutely love. It came to me by surprise. I saw it fairly recently, and I looked at the cover and I was like, I don't know. And I watched it, and Night of the Demon is really a fun movie. I don't want to spoil anything about it in case some of you haven't seen it, because it's not the most well-known horror movie in the world, but I really like Night of the Demon. So definitely give that a shot if you guys have not seen Night of the Demon. It's fun. That's my number 4. But coming in at number 3, may be controversial, but my number 3 is Friday the 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th. Now, stop for a second. If some of you may be upset that it's not my number 1, maybe some of you really aren't surprised to see it on this list in general. But I do love Friday the 13th, but let's not kid ourselves. It's not a very well-made movie. The stuff that Tom Savini did was good, but, he wasn't the master that he was going to become. I mean, for goodness sakes, when they cut Pamela's head off, there's toothpicks you can see. But credit where it's due. Savini's a king of what he does. What I'm getting at is Friday the 13th is a classic. It's a whodunit slasher movie in the craze of, as we know, the slasher genre, in the height of the slasher genre. And it's just a good movie. I love Friday the 13th. It's a whodunit. The music is great from Harry Manfredini. And it's just classic. What do I need to say about Friday the 13th that hasn't already been said? It's a classic. So that's my number 3. Coming in at number 2, if John Carpenter has a movie in this year, you can probably bet that he'll make the list more times than not. Number 2, a movie that keeps getting better and better every time I watch it, is The Fog. I love The Fog. The Fog is just such a creepy, atmospheric movie. I love the music. Goodness gracious, the music that John did for The Fog, to me, is almost as iconic as Halloween. It has that sound, that vibe. You hear the music, and you could be smiling and laughing, and that music plays, and you'll instantly just kind of go, you'll just sink in and get lost in that music. Phenomenal music. The Fog, man. Rob Bottin plays one of the ghosts in that movie, and that relationship would then turn into The Thing. So, but The Fog is great. If you haven't seen The Fog, it's a great movie with John still learning as he's going, so to speak, and the passion and just excitement in his youthfulness of directing films was you can feel it in this movie. So that's number 2. Number 1, drum roll. I wonder if any of you guys can guess what my number 1 is. I don't think that there's a lot of question to this. Probably, this movie is a 100% masterpiece. I'm usually not pretty stiff with my opinions and saying that this is perfect, but you know what? This movie is perfect to me. It's a shame Stephen King doesn't like this movie, but the #1 horror movie of 1980 and one of the greatest movies ever made, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. I mean, let's be real. I mean, what else could it have been, you know? There's some great movies. I want to give a shout out to movies like Maniac. I want to give a shout out. You know, that's a great one. It was close to making the list. You know, I want to give a shout out to a movie called The Changeling, another great one that close to making the list. Like I said, these movies reflect who I am as a person, and that I like these movies more so than the other ones. But #1 is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, a masterpiece. Like I said, it's a shame Stephen King doesn't like it. I understand it's not exactly like his book, but let's be real. Mick Garris's TV movie is not as good as Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. The Shining is a masterpiece. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. Jack Nicholson's probably best role he's ever done. Maybe besides Cuckoo's Nest, but The Shining was incredible. So I cannot wait to see what you guys say. Obviously, we're going to go through 81. We're going to go through 82, 3, 4. It's going to get exciting. It's going to get interesting, and I'm going to get a chance to talk about movies I don't always get a chance to talk about. But there it is, guys. That's my top 5, and I gave you a couple honorable mentions with Maniac, which is great, with The Changeling, which is great, and among others. So Motel Hell, another one. So that's my top 5. I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of argument with The Shining as #1, but if so, I'd love to know why. Tell me why you like these movies. So thank you guys for watching this movie. Get ready to go through the journey through the 80s with me as we go through all the top 5s of my list. So that's it. Christian Hanna Horror. Please be sure to sub for more videos just like this where we have fun all the time. See you guys next time.